Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Line Plays The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. We're gonna random again. Last run, out of control. I was gonna say, it's like our third Isaac in a row if we randomed it, but no, we got Maggie instead, and that's okay. AMQK, MHNY. There's no way I can feel bad about what is going on here already. Let's talk about this as we do it. Dark matter is good. Missing page 2 is not good, but could be worse. Oh my god, then Pandora's box. So fuck the yum hard. We in deep here. I was firing as if we had Tiny Planet already, but we don't. But I'm not gonna feel bad about the last run. You know why? We took Tiny Planet early. We didn't get any deals with the devil that gave us any actual deals, and we fought Mega Satan and won. It wasn't like we were underpowered, but we weren't overpowered through like the traditional channels. Mom's eye, not that good, but it's hard to complain considering how well the run is going right now. We'll use Pandora's box probably on the on the caves, unless we don't get a spacebar item, in which case maybe we'll save it and use it on the womb, but for now, it's just good to have it. It beats Yumheart, which I might not get any use out of to begin with, so I'm happy with that, and also having Deal with the Devil Precedent is great. That's something we didn't get on our last run, but yeah, I'm not going to apologize for getting Godhead. You know, we had to get handicapped to the point where we were able to get Godhead, and then it was just a dice roll that worked out in our favor, so, sure, it was super lucky, but, you know, it's not like we just picked up Brimstone or Mom's Knife or something like that that shows up all the time. I don't think anyone's going to be pissed about that run anyway, but we should clarify regardless. So, so far this run is really good. You know, Dark Matter is a surprisingly good pickup. I say surprisingly because for a long time I thought it was kind of shitty. Makes your tiers smaller. Gives you Fear Shot, which is oftentimes kind of dubious, if not actively bad, but it's definitely compensated for by the awesome damage upgrade that you get from it. And then Missing Page 2 is mostly just, it's a precedent item. Oh no, Experimental Treatment. Much lower rate of fire, but we did gain HP out of it. Kind of poor, but hey, what do you expect with Curse of the Blind, right? Lobster? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we'll come inside of our curse room. We can do this without losing red hearts. Wanna sink these shots pretty quick. Little scared. If we have to, if we get 2 keys, we can go to our shop. If we get 1 key, we can go to our shop. But we want to go to our item room too. Haven't lost our black heart yet. That's important. Actually, rather than going to the shop, and what I was going to say after that was obviously buy a spirit heart, it might be best for us to just get one from a red chest if they could swing that. But man, no money out of that either because of my own lack of reaction speed. But if we could just blow up with our only bomb, a Tinted Rock, and just get a Spirit Heart that way, that's much more practical, I think. But we are going to be going to our item room right off the bat. We don't have Curse of the Blind. Of course, we have Curse of the Unknown, so feeling pretty good. We will get a guaranteed Deal with the Devil here, and it will have Deal with the Devil Precedent. I guess it had Precedent for the second floor regardless. Deck of cards. Not really a choice for us here, unfortunately. 2 of Hearts is somewhat dysfunctional, but maybe we'll get a chance to make something good happen with it. Not a Tinted Rock, but we could trade a bomb for a key. Mostly interested in this if we can trade a bomb for a key and get the secret room out of it. That would be enough. Okay, well now we'll do it. Before I was like, I'm not that interested. Now I am interested because we can go to the shop, or more likely find the secret room and then open this chest. Get a 2-for-1 here. And we got our bomb back, so we basically traded our key for a bomb and 3 cents. That's not that bad. Range up. 48-hour energy. Telepills. Telepills into the second secret room is actually pretty good. And then we have a Tinted Rock we can access that we probably still would have found otherwise, but still, it's good. What we should probably do is use 48-hour energy, or use the battery charge that's on the ground with the cards, but I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to. It's just not that likely to be that big of a deal. It's not going to take that much time either, but it's just an inconvenience that, let's be honest, I'm pretty anti-inconvenience for the most part, which is a very diplomatic way of saying I'm laziness. It's like I'm a relaxation engineer. I'm not lazy. I like to engineer relaxation. That's important in today's world. Whoa, okay. This could be the end of our run in a very positive way. We're fighting the Fallen on our second floor, having already gotten a Deal with the Devil, and guaranteed to get a Deal with the Devil on this floor as well. Now, of course, this could be a shit item, and then we could fight Krampus or something like that and get Krampus's head, which would be a relatively poor haul for us, without a doubt. But we could also get a guppy item here and then 2 guppy items in our deal with the devil. So, you know, it can go either way. How is this guy still trucking along here? Both of them have to be like 3 hits away each at most, and one of them died in the prophecy there. We get Headless Baby. It's okay. We get a Krampus fight. Well, at worst, we got Headless Baby. That's okay. Headless Baby is probably better than average for, you know, your second floor boss fight. It's worse than average, I'd imagine, from the Fallen, considering the amazing stuff at the upper end of usefulness that the Fallen can give you. But it could be worse, and if we get Lump of Coal here, I'll consider this pretty successful. And mostly I'm stoked that on our last floor, we got Deal with the Devil precedent, so it couldn't possibly just be squandered here. But it's Krampus's head, so we could take it, but instead I'm going to roll Pandora's box, and we're going to head down to the next floor. Not quite the gravitas I was expecting out of that series of deals. However, I don't know what killed you there. I guess maybe Headless Baby's creep? Yeah, it must have been. I think we won't use Pandora's box unless we find a compelling reason. We're kind of in the good range for it right now. We can use Pandora's box on this floor or on the next floor and get a benefit out of it. So if we find a good spacebar item on this floor, we should use Pandora's box. If we find a good spacebar item on the next floor, even better. But if not, maybe we'll end up saving it. The problem is, if we don't use it by the caves too, we really should not use it to till the womb unless we get a very compelling reason, because the deals are going to be worse. I am going to take that Eternal Heart. I've got faith that I can... let me put it this way. I've evaluated my risk of leaving it behind accidentally, and I think that risk is greater than the risk of me taking enough hits to lose it, or accidentally playing a Demon Judgment or something like that. So I think this is the right call for me personally. If you never forget about Eternal Hearts, then by all means, leave that one behind, and then don't come crying to me when you have 15,000 people breathing down your neck for it. Why take my reflection? Because I'm a bad dude who doesn't care about anything. I want to actively make my runs shitty, and that's the truth. There are some items that are too shitty, even for a relaxation engineer such as myself. However, my reflection is not one of them. My reflection can be worked around. Oh, but Isaac's... You know what? Well, if you love Isaac's Heart so much, why don't you freaking start your own YouTube channel? Just play, hey, this is episode 500 of me starting with Isaac's Heart thanks to the cheat engine. You fucking love Isaac's Heart so much, why don't you marry it? It's probably... This is illegal the way this country's going to marry a digital item in a video game, am I right? That didn't mean anything by that. I'm just blowing smoke up your ass. We will... Which is probably legal as well, the way this... Anyway. I took BFF over the map, because the map is boring, but BFF is cool, and BFF scales well, or synergizes well, I should say, with other familiars, and the map is just like, oh, I got the map. Everybody's got GPSs nowadays. Nobody gives a shit about maps, okay? If you work for a map company that is not named something that rhymes with Schmoogle, you best be careful. There's probably, like, literally, like, a multi-billion-dollar mapping corporation that does, like, GIS shit I've never heard about, but anyway. If you work for Schmoogle, you're alright. We don't need to leave yet, but there's also nothing keeping me around here. So why wouldn't I leave? Make sure we got a little bit of a better beat on boss rush. We really should try not to take red heart damage on this floor, which is good practice most of the time no matter what. But you remember on the first floor, our somewhat impressive positive momentum was caused by the fact that we... did take red heart damage immediately by going to the curse room. That's because there was no consequence for it. Now there's a consequence for it, unfortunately. Try to get this guy to die close to the edge, but we're gonna have to rely on the ability to fly to get that, unfortunately. That's fairly normal. How many times have I actually managed to make that work? Like, kill Gluttony so close to the edge, his item ends up falling off the corner. Twice in like almost 1,000 runs, maybe even more than 1,000 runs if you count the NLSS's and... You know, well, mostly the NLSSs, I guess. Well, let's see. If we're doing 3... Let's ignore the NLSSs that are skipped just for, like, ease of use purposes. It's been about 50 weeks since Rebirth came out. That's 150 extra episodes on top of the ones that, you know, the 4 per day forever. I don't know what episode this even is. I'm getting I'm getting confused. I just put up one called 787 sometime this week, so we must be closing in on 800. Yeah, we're getting close to 1,000 runs that have been recorded in 1 year. That's like, that's impressive. That's an impressive mark of consistency and futility. Remember that time that we won over 10% of those in a row? That was pretty sweet. Remember that time I could record that many because my computer wasn't constantly fucking me in the butt? Yeah, those were the days. Girls were girls and men were men. And yes, sir, we could use a man like Mr. Green Man again. Now, here, I would really prefer to not fight greed. Sometimes I want the greed fight, sometimes I don't. I don't want it right now. Unfortunately, I want both of those items, but we're not going to be able to get them. Maybe we'll get our choice of one, depending on how things go here, but I'm somewhat skeptical. Hello, somewhat skeptical, I'm Dad! Oh, Dad, good one. Oh, okay. Classic. Excuse me, there we go, we landed one. The Shears. Yeah, we'll do it. We got our Spirit Hearts and we got the Screw, which is actually a really good pickup there. I think it was worth holding on to this way. And we get the Shears. The Shears are probably one of maybe 10 to 20 spacebar items I would consider getting rid of. The 20 is kind of a lot. You know, we're probably more like 8 to 10 items I would consider getting rid of Pandora's Box for early, because the Shears is really, really good. Now, we got PhD and there's options. And I'm going to make this decision very easy on myself. If we can conceivably get to 15 cents, which we can now, before fighting the boss, then I'll go for there's options. Because I think that's obvious and sensible. We're going to have one extra chance to use there's options if we buy it before our boss fight, so let's do that. If a miracle happens and we get enough money to buy PhD as well, I'm for it. Very, very for it, especially considering for an extra 3 cents, you know, they could upsell me. And I would be able to, oh, don't push it away. Lucky us. Barely made that. I'd be able to buy the extra pill and it would be good, but can't do that yet. Now, we're going to be very slow here. We have slowed down quite a lot. We're not really particularly strong, but that can change quickly. Let's see what the Curse Room has on offer now that we have Spirit Hearts. Oh my god. I am a god amongst men, apparently. That was the best dodge I've ever done in my life, followed by probably the best dodge I've ever done in my life. So we picked up 2 Spirit Hearts out of that. Let's be honest, that room was going to be good for us regardless, just because of what was in those Spirit Hearts, or what was in those Blue Fires, I should say. But the fact that we were able to get through that without taking damage as well, even better. Do we know what this does? Oh, that's terrible. But it doesn't matter too much, because we're going to be using the Shears for this anyway. And actually, now I'm vindicated for having picked up BFF instead of the map, because the Shears plus BFF will kill anything. And we will definitely take meat here, get the 0.3 damage up, plus the extra HP. I don't remember how much Blood Clot does for you, but it's only out of 1 eye, right? So it's halved already, and then I would take the HP at probably a greater value than that. Depends on what the Blood Clot's damage actually is, but I guess we should try to, like, work this Lust here into this fuck corridor, because if we can actually get him stuck on the Headless Baby creep, that's going to be much better for us. But in a weird way, the Fear Shot is actually a huge detriment here. But at least we're doing decent amounts of damage, and you will be dead. And 48-hour energy is good, but probably not good enough to use right now. Maybe use that once we get a little bit later into the game. If we can use the Shears on like 4 rooms in a row, or 3 rooms in a row, that's pretty wild. That could make the chest very easy on us. So you can probably work out my strategy here. I'm trying to get these guys to walk on the Headless Baby creep, and if they get scared on it, even better, they'll get confused, and when they're confused, they're not going to get off of the creep. Dark Bomb obviously would be a nice pickup for us here. This is almost Shears worthy, honestly, just because my speed is not improved at all, so my ability to dodge is a little bit hampered, but we're kind of just playing Jezball with these guys. Sorry, you kiss your mother with that mouth? You know, Jezball, the game, the ball's bouncing around, you try to, like, catch it on one side of the screen and make its area as small as possible. You just Google it. You'll probably had it on your computer. You just might not know the name. Well, I don't know. If you're watching this, did you ever have any experience with, like, Windows 3.1 or even 95? Say, if you're 20 years old right now, you would have been born in 95. You could have had a computer with Windows 95 on it. That's not an absurd question. You may not have, but you could have. You know what? Yeah, Book of Revelations, 48-hour energy. Makes my life a little easier. And we can actually use the shears once on the way to the boss room. We could use it instead of wasting our golden keys. Now that I think about it, that sentence itself is pretty stupid. We traded nothing for 5 bombs there. Good trade. And we will... the shears was not ready. I did not realize that. But we can still use the shears once before the boss room. We might as well go to our shop. I'm just gonna... Worst case scenario, fight greed. Best case scenario... Best case scenario, maybe fight greed, actually, so we can get some money. Or some purchasing power in another direction. We got Hive Mind, and we got Blank Card. This room, I'll say it's worth using the shears just because I can fly over here, crack that bad boy open, and we got a red heart. Amazing. Fantastic. I guess we could buy a Blank Card, but I don't want it. We could bomb the shit out of the donation machine and buy Hive Mind? Oh, it's Kate's donation machine. I just realized. That's why it said 378. So I was like, hey, we're at like 800 or something, right? Well, we'll pill for her donation machine. Everybody be cool. Don't tell her. I'll tell her, if you tell her, make sure to tell her I'll fill it back up. This is, it's like I'm taking gas from the family jalopy or something like that. Okay, we got a Hive Mind. Was it worth it? I hope it ends up being worth it. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to have pilfered that much money, but this is another situation where I'm super stoked. And we'll basically just let the shears aggro, and yeah, all it takes is one period of like them standing still for the shears to just completely ruin their day. We get a deal with the devil, definitely want that shot speed damage up, and we get a couple of books. Not interested. Super not interested in that either. Alright, well, we're making great time, that's for sure. We're already on Necropolis or Depths 2. It's Necropolis 2 with a Curse of the Maze variants attached to it. Pretty much hate this room most of the time, but definitely with my reflection. You'd think we'd maybe, because our shots are weird, we'd be able to hit them more often, even when we didn't intend to. This is not my experience most of the time. Fear Shot also fucks with these guys. Sure, let's take Ringworm as if it wasn't weird enough. I think Ringworm gives you a huge shot speed advantage, so... And by advantage, I just mean shot speed up, because it's not really an advantage. That's just kind of, it depends on your perspective on things. I can barely see my own tears as well, which is... I don't know if that's a problem. I know where I'm standing, so I sort of think it's not that big of a deal, but it could become a big deal. I'm hoping that we can pick up something that makes this meaningless. You know, like, the shears is pretty close, but we can't use it that often. I know I'm a scumbag, but we're going to try to scum up Boss Rush anyway. It's a very viable technique. You know? It might be a douchebag if you play Siege Rhinos, but everybody's doing it anyway. Wheel of Fortune is not worth anything, except what we got when we blew it up, but AWAS is. Now, we're going to really hope that it's not a crawl space. I guess we're going to hope it actually is a portal to the next dimension. If it's a crawl space, I don't think we'll have to fight Boss Rush, though. We'll spawn the monsters, and then we'll come down into the crawl space, then we come back up, they'll all be gone. I think. So I guess it works either way. Oh, man. You know what? As much as I love the zaniness, I don't think I can continue with my Ringworm play here. It's just a little too zany for me, and by zany, I mostly just mean impractical. You know, there's a fine line between being quirky and being unemployable, and we're getting pretty close to that unemployability line. Chaos card. Well, I don't really care to use the Chaos card properly. I didn't really mean to just brick it into the wall, but to be honest with you, we were not going to use it anyway. So, I was hoping maybe I'd hit Polycephalus with it. I don't know what my throw was, but I was hoping somehow Polycephalus would get hit by that, apparently. Now, it'd be really nice if we could actually up our damage. Considering how many deals with the devil we've had access to, we haven't really improved our damage very much at all. We're not, I mean, we have Fear Shot, so that's been good, but apart from that, we've been a little bit sparse on the damage upgrades. And a lot of upgrades, actually. Like, I'm disappointed in this run solely because of the fact that we're kind of underpowered, especially relative to how many opportunities we've had to get more powerful. Like, it's been a little silly how shitty our deals with the devil have been. Like, the Krampus one was a bad roll. We fought Krampus, and we didn't get anything out of it. I could have had Krampus' head right now, but we wouldn't have kept it anyway, because the shears, especially with BFF, is a lot better for us. Speaking of which, yeah, there you go. Just chew on that for a little bit. You know, we had that first deal with the devil, which had Fear Shot, or Dark Matter specifically, which is even better. And then we had Missing Page 2 on it with Curse of the Blind, which is basically just a way for us to give HP to the game for no reason. And then we had red chests that had nothing, and then we had 2 books when we already had our spacebar item spoken for. So it's been a little suboptimal, and no deal with the devil here, just, you know, even worse. But we'll take Homing Tears here, and we'll pop AWAS. And we will just bolt down to the next floor. Free Homing Tears upgrade. Nobody's going to say no to that, but at the same time, it doesn't make us that much stronger. It's not bad, but it's not necessarily particularly amazing. I could have taken Bloody Lust, and I'll admit the thought did cross my mind, but Homing Tears, or more specifically, I guess, Spoonbender, is not one of those items I pass up lightly. It's one of the... I ask for it for every synergy, right? I'm always like, what do I need? Piercing shots, homing shots. Piercing shots, homing shots. What would I like now? Piercing shots. If we could get a deal with the devil with Death's Touch on it, I would consider this pretty won. As of right now, it's probably won, but, you know, in contrast to our last run, it's going to be a slog. Most runs are going to be a slog in contrast to, you know, a Godhead, Death's Touch, Tiny Planet, Lump of Coal run. We did get Lump of Coal, didn't we? No, we got Krampus' head, or neither? I think we got neither, now that I think about it. We just didn't have that many deals with the devil. So, I'm not sure. But, it's okay. We don't need to worry about last run. Last run is last run. We need to worry about this run, which can't be that bad, because I'm still going here. At 20 minutes, lots of HP, and certainly, you know, faster than Boss Rush needed us to be. The only thing that bothers me right now is this curse and the fact that I wish I could kill enemies a little faster, but that's a quality problem to have. So for now, we're just going to play standard Northern Lion style, which is don't use your spacebar item until the boss fight. It's a very poor strategy. I wouldn't recommend it, but it has worked for me over a very long period of time. Got a red heart we will never use, and money we couldn't care less about, so that's a real positive start for us. Now, we've already been there, so we've probably basically done a loop, and we know that with some confidence we're pretty unlikely to find our boss room over here. I will continue to pick up the pennies. You never know, man. You never know. Similarly, might as well at least play that once so we can set ourselves up for some permanent Polaroid invincibility. If we wanted to, we actually could, we could play it enough to put ourselves down at permanent Polaroid invincibility, but then we don't have the added... It's so stupid to take that damage. My creep intermingled with their creep, and it was not as hot as it sounds. It was just gross, mostly. I'm tempted by the fruit of another here, but I don't really want to, I don't really want to pop the shears. I can't believe we got free there. I also can't believe Mom's Eye got a kill for us. And then I just freaking, my BFF friends were covering up the enemy that spawned so I couldn't see it. I mean, mind you, I should have had some preternatural, you know, knowledge that it was there, I guess. That was a tough room. Oh, it still is a tough room. Now it's not, because they're all dead. They're dead, I tell ya. HP's still looking good. I don't want to mess with our HP. I'm not going to do the blood bank thing. Just going to keep ourselves afloat and happy. And basically, we don't get mad at this run until we get no deal with the devil or a shit deal with the devil. If we get no deal with the devil, that'll be the worst, because it's like we didn't even have... we didn't even have a dice roll. You took my dice bag and threw it in the trash, lit it on fire, and threw it down the gorge, right? Instead, if we get a deal with the devil, but it sucks, at least we have sort of like a seam that we can pull on and be like, okay, maybe we can do something here. I think if we just... There we go. I was like, where's going to be the breaking point where my shots will still hit you? And it turned out to be right there. So I think I can do okay here because my range is really good. We'll just set up like a nice little safety net here so that Headless Baby will do some damage if they get too close to me, and we'll try to set it up going across both sides here just to make it even more impenetrable. Now, I think we only have ones on the outer edge, so we should be completely fine here. This room's mostly just tedious at this point. Don't really care about the bomb. Now I do, because there is a tinted rock here. Small rock would help a lot. Well, Spirit Heart is also good. Not going to be too salty about it here. Our run is not good enough for me to be mad at that. So what about down here? I thought that was where we came from, but I guess not. It is a dead end, though. And really should have popped the shears on probably that Diglett room, because now it's proving pretty obvious that we could have gotten at least a roll or two. Or not a, you know, I just use roll because I'm used to the D6, but we could have gotten at least a plague or two out of those and probably saved ourselves some heartache. Oh my god, where the fuck is the boss fight? I don't want to do this anymore. I must have missed a door, maybe on the other side. I mean, our run is not good enough to be stoked about going to every single room here. I probably should have been hit there, but I wasn't. And, oh, it's fantastic. Another bomb. Well worth the cost of doing business. Okay, that might be our secret room. We have been up, though, right? Like, that's where we started. We've been down, sort of. Yeah, we've definitely been down here, and I've ruined my permanent Polaroid invincibility, but at this point, I don't care. I just want to get out of this floor. I think we've been down here. Oh, it's the classic Northern Lion Curse of the Lost game. Maybe we didn't go up here? I don't think we walked near the spikes. Oh, this is so disappointing. Because we easily could have just not done any of this shit, probably. I'm gonna let Shears do this. Why use your Shears so late in the floor? Well, we have a battery charge for a single key anyway. I ended up taking a hit, but, you know, shit happens. Yeah, we're fine. There's gonna be people who are like, well, why didn't you use the shears to get the battery charge? I want you to run that. There's not gonna be many people thinking that, but if you're thinking that, I want you to run through the process in your head step by step and tell me where the problem lies. Oh, we won the game. Okay. It's a little rare to see Mom's knife just show up in our mob trap room, but there it is, and its existence means that we win. Full stop, no questions asked. I'm not gonna not take it, because we do have Mom's Eye, as well as the homing tears synergy, so it's very powerful, yes, but also kind of weird. So I'm for it, but it is, it takes a little bit of the drama out, because we're gonna win. Without a doubt. 100%. I know what you're thinking. You're gonna, or what you're thinking to yourself, or even saying, "Man, now that he's cocky, I really hope he loses this one." You can hope whatever you want. That's your you know, constitutionally protected right. I will not lose this run, and it's not because I'm a good player. It's because this run is just too strong to be easily lost. And like, even at this point, I was like, should I use No Deal with the Devil? A little disappointing, but less so now that I know I've gotten a really good item. But yeah, I was like, you know, not because I'm a great player is this run unlosable, just because the run is actually incredible. And now we don't need the shears. I mean, I'm sad to say because I love the shears. Shears, I love you. You're not necessary here anymore. You know, we've gotten you're the best goddamn soda bottle cap screwer honor that we've ever had, but we got a machine to do that job now. It's very sad, but in order to keep up with the, you know, competition, we gotta downsize. So I'm very sorry about the shears, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. How do you like them cookies? I got a number. That's not how that one goes. We could spice this one up a little bit, and it would be a little risky. That was so stupid, but it worked. The way we would spice this one up, in case you're interested, we could never shoot our knives. Instead, we can only walk into enemies. You know what? I think I'm gonna try this melee-focused run. I might not stick with it. We might find ourselves running into trouble. So that was my mistake. I have no excuse to offer there except that I forgot because it's a self-imposed condition. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to use the actual range ability and instead just, okay, this room is obviously an exception. We're up to just a cracking start so far. Alright, well, we can do it here. I could, you know, theoretically just, yeah, we want that. Take my hand off the arrow keys, but we want to be able to aim our knives in a direction regardless. Hopefully down is the right way here. And if things get tough on the chest, we can start shooting again, and that'll probably nullify our problem if I had to guess. What's our nightmare right now? Enemies with creep are a pain in the ass. Enemies with mobility are a pain in the ass. Enemies that shoot bullets are... Basically, every enemy type is a pain in the ass. More so than it would be if we weren't doing this. But that's why it's a challenge. Or intended to be a challenge. Easy. That was actually... I think I got a new strategy for fighting those guys. That was the easiest we've ever had. No tinted rock that I can see. And I am leaving behind keys. Pretty much entirely out of sheer laziness, admittedly. World card. World card! Why would I use the world card and keep 2 of hearts? You're smarter than you look. And also smarter than me, because that is a very astute decision on your part. Well, we'll go back and check on that one. You know what? You're gonna hit me when I'm doing this self-imposed challenge? A little bit rich is all I'm saying. And the only rich that I do on a regular basis is, rich from Big and Rich. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. And by do, I mean listen, not have, you know, consensual sexual intercourse between 2 adults who are both Z-list pseudo-celebrities. I think I'm smaller than Big. That was a sentence that came out exactly as intended. Well, I saddle up my horse and I ride it to the city. Get off your horse! This was made for cars, man! And I make a lot of noise because the girls are all so pretty. What is this? They go like, "Awooga!" Are you a cartoon wolf? Save a horse, ride a flipping cowboy. This is what a classic. This is a classic butt rock anthem. So I've decided to start shooting again because this strategy is not working out very well for me. And now I'm like, you know what? I definitely shouldn't have said all that stuff about no matter how cocky I am, we're not going to lose this run. We're still not going to lose this run. But we might have put ourselves in a slightly greater chance of losing. Probably won't. I don't think we're going to have much of a problem here. But I've been mistaken a couple times before in my life. Definitely, like, taking one more hit here would make me pretty bummed out. But if I get bummed out, just do what I do. Sing Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy by Big and Rich, and you'll be smiling in no time. You don't have to do this, but we're gonna. 1 extra cent, juicy, well worth the cost of doing business, is what I always say. Might as well try this. Obviously, it's not going to be a secret room, but that's okay. Why, obviously? Well, we used the world card, remember? Do you recall the most recently used card of all? It was the freaking world card. Oh, man, it actually is, now that I think about it, getting close to Christmas season, isn't it? I have to do my Christmas-themed music parodies instead of constantly pulling from, you know, Pearl Jam's discography from the mid-1990s. We could maybe do a little bit of both. Okay, so we're going down to the chest. We got Mom's Knife and damage. We should win. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. Curse of the Maze is relatively meaningless. Eve's Mascara with Mom's Knife I think is actually probably good. Piggy Bank, not really. Magnet, there's not going to be any inaccessible areas to us here, so it's going to be pretty trashy, but I do think Eve's Mascara is okay for us. I never know. With Mom's Knife, like, the tier stat is weird because I never know if it affects damage or range or both, or charge up time, or, you know, all sorts of weird kind of, like, intersecting spectrums there, but if there's any item it wouldn't destroy, if there's any item Eve's Mascara wouldn't destroy, it would be Mom's Knife. Especially if you weren't actually shooting. But we've gone back on that promise a little bit. I made a promise to my audience that I would take care of you. I've broken that promise. That's Michael Caine smiling, trying to stifle a laugh while doing that pivotal scene in The Dark Knight Rises. He's trying to stifle a laugh because Christian Bale's making funny faces off camera because he's such a crack up on set. You gotta know it. We got like an Are You a Wizard thing going on here. Few times I've been around that track, but I'm not gonna something because I ain't no wizard, Tyrone. I ain't no wizard, Tyrone. But I know a little bit. Enough to know when you want to illegally search my shit. This is a great room, by the way. I'm having a lot of fun on this one. I'm thinking I might, like, saddle up my horse and ride it to the city after this one's over. Making a lot of noise? That depends on the physical attractiveness of the female specimens that we find in said city, which is surprisingly equine-friendly, I might add. I was thinking I might open with a little bit of a line, a little bit of some wordplay, which I find always gets the libido going. I'll say, save a horse, ride a cowboy. The implication, of course, being that, you know, instead of riding a horse, we could just have sexual intercourse with the lady on top. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but for the purposes of the joke, if we're going to go all the way with the joke, yes, of course. Alright, so we are going to win, in spite of my own cockiness and idiocy. There's pretty much no way for us to fuck this up, even though I tried hard right up to the very end. So for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the run. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.